Hi guys, this is the Ember Island Collector, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing another review of Zen Monkey Studio avatar pins. I got these pins on a Black Friday sale during their bundle set, and today we'll be reviewing what we got from that Black Friday sale. As you can see here, we got this beautiful packaging tissue paper with the Zen Monkey Studio logo on it, and that didn't come in my last order, so that's pretty interesting. It's very nicely made and I like it a lot. And today you can see that we are reviewing both the Day of the Black Sun Avatar Collection bundle set as well as their transparent series, and I think we have some good ones today. So let's get started. I think we'll go first with the Avatar Day of the Black Sun pins. So this bundle includes, let's see, 6 pins, and we have the gang here. We have Aang, and so if we go through each one, we have Aang, we have Toph, we have Zuko, we have Azula, and then we also have Sokka, and we have Katara. Now, I guess we can get started by going through the pins first in order that I went through. So looking at Aang here, we can see that he's dressed in his robes, and let's start by taking him out the plastic. As you can see, each one says, like, this one says Airpen Aang Sun, so it's just to show which one it is with the correct code. And if we take him out, we can see over here that first he has two backings, making him a two-pronged pin, and then we can see Aang himself. Let's see if that will zoom in correctly. And so we have Aang, and he is unleashing an airstrike with his staff. You can see a serious expression in his eyes. It's a very nicely well-made enamel pin. If you look at it through the light, you can see the nice coloring, the coating. And overall, I like this pin. I like the expression in his eyes. He looks it's very intense, kind of matching the Day of the Black Sun, the whole idea of that. And on this one, you can see that on this cardstock, we have Avatar Last Airbender. So we have the logos for Fire Nation, Air Nomads, etc. And then we also have the Zen Monkey Studios logo right here. And then on the back, it just says Nickelodeon. So overall, very nice pin. I quite enjoy it. And I think it's a great representation of Aang. Moving on, we can go with Toph. Now, Toph's one, I think it's a little funny, as it says here. We have again the same barcode, but this one says Toph Sun, so like Day of the Black Sun. Something that's very interesting, I'll put these to the side as well. We know Toph to have milky white eyes in the series, and we look at this one, we see that her eyes aren't really that milky color. They're actually green, and they're not cloudy. So one thing that kind of throws me off about this pin is the fact that she has eyes and she's using them. So that's kind of a thing, because she never really looks directly at the camera, and that's something that we learn in the Avatar art books. But we see here she's wearing the exact same, the Earth Kingdom's armor, and she has her hat, and she has her gauntlets. So just her typical outfit. She looks very fierce. And again, same black enameling. I think it's a very nicely well-made pin. I think it's the eyes that bother me the most of this pin. I think it kind of doesn't look like Toph, but it does look like Toph. But it's really the eyes that are throwing me off the most part. The fact that they're clear eyes, not the milky white eyes that she kind of has, milky green eyes that she has to represent her blindness. So that's kind of strange, but overall it's a nice pin. I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but I do like it. Moving forward, we can go to Zuko. Now, I think Zuko has to be my favorite one of the series here. Let me just open it up again. So we have Zuko with his Dao swords, and I think overall it's a very nicely well-made pin. I quite enjoy it. I like the expression on his face. He seems very pensive, very angry. At the same time, it's like the scene where he's questioning his father, and he's standing up for himself and kind of taking back the power to his own hands. And we see his Dao swords kind of in action here. We see the little swish of him drawing them out. And I don't know, overall this pin, I quite enjoy it as well. I think it's nicely, like I said, like all these pins are very nicely made. The hard enamel is very nice. I've always just started collecting pins, and I really enjoy what Zen Monkey Studios like puts out for their pins. So this is a very nice pin. I do like the fact that we have him, like this is the confrontation scene that we see him in book 3, in his book 3 wear. So that's pretty nice. So let's put that one to the side. I do have to say this is probably one of my favorites. I guess if we're gonna go with Zuko, we should just go to his sister, Azula. And now Azula, I'm gonna be honest, she's not like my favorite character. I do think she's a very well-written character. And especially her actions in the Day of the Black Sun are also very, she's like just generally a very good character. And she's very mischievous, she's very calculating, and it's always very interesting to see characters like that. But we look at her pin, it's kind of weird because she just is giving you finger guns. Obviously, that's kind of how she like shoots lightning out of her fingers and stuff like that. But I don't know if this would be an expression that I would have chosen for Azula. She does have the nice calculating stare, but she also is just kind of, it's not really an action shot. So like we see Aang, and we see Aang having this like this cool action shot, and we see like him moving, and you have like that movement emphasized by like little streaks of like the wind here, and we have Zuko with his Dao blades, and we kind of have Azula as a character who's like always in action, kind of being very just posy, kind of, it's kind of a hokey pose. I still very much enjoy, like I said, I really enjoy all the Zen Monkey Studio pins, but I definitely would have to say that this isn't one of my, like, out of like all the pins in the series, this isn't my favorite one. One thing I just noticed though is that like the black and the white do represent the eclipse, with the sun being blocked out by the moon over here. I didn't really realize that because you see like it's on all of these, and that's the eclipse, and I think that's just really clever of them. Like I said, like this pin is very nicely made. You can see it's been filled in very well. Azula herself is like just has a very Azula expression on her face. I just really don't understand the pointing fingers, the finger guns. Understandable. And then we'll go on to Sokka. Now Sokka, I think I really enjoy his pin. I think the artwork they did for this one, and the expressions, and all the things that he's wearing his warrior gear, and he looks very dynamic, and it's just something I like. Sokka's also like an amazing character, and we see him with his sword, and we see him with the sheath of his sword on his back, and I think especially because like this is like one of the few pins like where it comes out like it's very thin coming out, like it comes out here, his sword's very thin, and we see him wearing this like, he has a very angry expression, so he's very powerful, very warrior-like, and I think it explains a lot of Sokka's character, especially during the Day of the Black Sun episode. So yeah, overall, great pin. As you can see, the coloring here is very nice. Everything's filled in. We don't really have any air bubbles. That's kind of some things you look for when you're collecting pins. There are some scratches on the bottom here, but I think that could be buffed out if needed to be. Overall, I like this one a lot. I like the details that we have on his helmet with the wolf and all the detailing on here. Very, very cool. And then I think we have, so these are the ones we have so far. And then this is Katara. Now Katara, I think, has to be, first of all, one of my favorite characters, but I think her pin is the reason why I got this pin series, because Zen Monkey Studios has a lot of cool pins online on their website. I really highly recommend that you check it out. But I think this is the one that really sent me off. It's just the fact that we see Katara, we see her water and the bending that she does, and we see this very fierce expression, this very headstrong expression that she has as a character. And I think this pose they chose really exemplifies who her character is, the fact that she's very much a warrior, just like her brother, but it's a very strong pose. The fact that we see her like with both of her water skins on cork, ready to fight, and this expression, how her hair is, like, it's I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that it's just so powerful. I like seeing Katara's hair down rather than the braid, because it's just, there's so much more movement. I think it looks really nice, especially when it's animated. But even here, like, showing it with her hair down, which is what she is wearing in the series, like in the actual Day of the Black Sun episode, is something that I quite enjoy. And we can see this is very, like I said, all these pins from Zen Monkey Studios are very highly well made. I would totally recommend, if you're looking into collecting pins, for like, especially Avatar pins, I highly encourage you to look at Zen Monkey Studios pins. They're quite, they're priced fairly well. I enjoyed the fact that I got these during the Black Friday sale, so I did save 10% off, so it's not the same. But having this whole bundle set it's just something that I really appreciate, especially as any Avatar Last Airbender fan can tell. Like, you can buy these also individually. I believe they're about $10 for each pin. If you buy them individually, you'll have to check their website to see if they still have them available. So there's that. So I guess if we're gonna stop here about like choosing which one out of the Day of the Black Sun series, which is my favorite, I do have to say it's definitely a, if I had to choose between two favorites, I think it's either Katara or Zuko's. And I think it's because like I just like the expressions. I really like Katara a lot better, I think, than Zuko's. Like, Zuko's is very like, I still like the motion we get with the Dao swords, and I do compare like Zuko and Aang's like to be like the same tier, but Katara's is just so, it's just so interesting to look at her hands and to see this expression. Like, this is the reason like I bought this set, is because I saw Katara and I was like, wow. And then I saw the other ones, I was like, wow, they're all really good. And I think Katara is the one that I really enjoy from the Day of the Black Sun series. I think she's also sold out online, but I would have to double check on that. I think, like I said before, my least favorite is probably Toph. I think, well, either Toph or Azula. And I think I've made my points very clear why. Like, Toph's eyes are just very much like if she had, like, she has eyes. I get that she has eyes. I just feel like they made her look too much as if she wasn't blind. And her character art isn't like that. And then Azula has, like, the weird fingers, but I get it. And I still really much enjoy these pins. They're just not my favorite. Like, out of the series, like, we have, they're still really good pins, and we didn't have like Katara or Zuko or like Aang's to compare to. I would like them just as equal, like just as much. But like looking at like Katara's, I can't get over the fact that how much I enjoy like how her pin is and how dynamic and the energy that you get from it, just from like, and you don't, it's not animated, so it's like, it's a great way to have like this moment like conceptualized and then produced to look like that. So those are those pins. And then if we're gonna move these, we can move these over and we can start on the Avatar Translucent series. Now these ones, I saw them, I remember seeing them and I was like, oh, they're really cool. And I think the point about these is that, first of all, it's most of the gang. I say most because a lot of people are like, oh, the gang is Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and Zuko, and everyone forgets Suki, and Suki's very much part of the gang. We're not gonna get into this right now. That's a video for another day. But I think the reason I like these series is because they're supposed to be translucent. So I guess we'll start here with Sokka. And as we could see, so the series has first, like, it's metal, and then we have, like, a metal etching of them. We have metal, and then them etched into metal, but then we also have them etched onto this glass, I want to say, but I haven't actually seen it, so let's take it out. Now I do have to admit that, so here we are again with Sokka. Hope that he's coming in clearly. Sometimes I feel like my hands are more in focus. And then again we have again two backs on the back of this pin, so let's take this out, this out, and like I said, very similar cardstock, has the Zen Monkey Studio logo on there. Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to know, to see. Well, first of all, you can see the back. This is Zen Monkey Studios, and tells you, like, it has, like, the licensings, like, Paramount, Viacom, which own Avatar Last Airbender. So I was really, like, interested to see if this was actually, like, translucent, like, the fact that it would be, like, translucent, like, you would see through it, or if it was just, like, a metal black. It would just be metal backing. And so we can see here that it's just metal backing, but you do have, like, this translucent, I want to say plastic, but I would have to double check. You could check the listing on Zen Monkey Studios to see. But we also have, one thing I found really interesting, that we have the very, Sokka has first the same expression on both his, like, translucent self as well as his metal etched self. So overall, like, I think hopefully light captures this very well, but you can see that it's a very cool effect, and that's why I kind of like the idea of, like, collecting these as well. So we're gonna put these backings on just real quick. I won't take all of them out now that I know that they're not translucent all the way through, but I think it's very nice to see how these pins are, like, the whole idea of them. And I like that it's blue, because Sokka's, like, Water Tribe, and stuff like that, and I think they all kind of represent their colors. So then if we go to Toph's, and I feel like this Toph I like a lot better than Day of the Black Sun Toph. So, we'll see. And so this Toph we have, she's in an earthbending pose. I guess we didn't talk a lot about Sokka's, like he's wielding. Gosh, it's really escaping me right now. If you can remember what it's called, leave in the comments below. We're just gonna ignore that. But we're gonna go back into Toph, and like we have her earthbending, we have the rocks coming up, and we have the, like I said, like this expression makes more sense than I think the Day of the Black Sun expression. Like the Day of the Black Sun looks like she's staring you right in the eyes, and that's something that she doesn't do. Like you always see, like she's never actually looking at the characters if you watch closely enough. And then over here we have her very much just like she has that expression on her face. It's also the same expression like that's on her face that's on here. And I think that's really interesting because if you look at like some of the other pins, they're not like that. Like Sokka has the same expression on here and on his face, and she has the same one, just like mirrored image. And so this one's nice. It has this nice green on here. It's like very much etched into there. I don't know, maybe it's like a resin. We also get like Toph's earmuffs, and it's just, I love these pins. They're very cool, very nicely well made. They're very, you can tap them. Metal, they last long. There isn't any like scratching that I can see on there, so very nicely well made. I quite enjoy this. So let's go on to Zuko. Now Zuko's the one that I said like is a little different from the rest of the series. So Zuko, you can see all my plastics there. Zuko has first, like you have season 1 Zuko, and he's in his armor, and you have the shading. It's really, really nice. But then in his etching, like the 3D etching over here, you have Zuko and his season, like his season 3 hair. We have he's wearing a tunic, and you have like a little cut over there. So you can probably say this is probably from season 3, like his hair is down, the scar is the same in all 3 seasons, but with his hair down, the different facial expressions, it's probably from a season 3 Zuko. Overall, like, yeah, it's red. It's really nice. It's, like, very nicely made. Like, the one reason I like Zen Monkey Studios pins that they're not just, like, circles, they're not very simple shapes, is just that they kind of go around the border and they go out of the border, and it's something that they didn't have to do, but they did, and it makes it a lot more interesting as a pin, just the shape and the variety of it. So, yeah. I like it. This is the one that's, like, a little different, because, like, it's the same expression, but it's a different Zuko, you know? Season 1 Zuko versus season 3 Zuko. So then we'll go on. I want to start with Katara first, because I feel like Aang. We started with Aang, we might as well just end with Aang. I guess in that case, could have started with Katara then. So we have Katara here. And like I said, her expression also is, like, very similar. So we have, like, Katara kind of from promotional material, promotional stuff. If you look at anything from when they first started doing, like, if you look at anything back to when they first started advertising for Avatar Last Airbender, this is the pose that you would find her in. And it's cool because we kind of get both the same, like, we get this Katara. Let's see if this focus is better. There we go. And we have Katara here, and she's wearing that, like, nice expression. We have her hair in a braid, season 1, like, outfit. And then we have Katara over here. I think this is the first pin I'm actually seeing a little nick in the resin, which is a kind of a bummer, but honestly, I didn't even, like, I looked at these pins before I, like, to look at them up close, and I didn't really notice it. I think it's something you notice a lot more. Like, you can see the bubbling over here, which kind of just goes to me as, like, a grade B kind of thing, and it's kind of sad because, like, Katara is one of my favorite characters, but overall, still a very lovely pin. I think imperfections do make the pin kind of a little bit more fun, and even though it's like kind of annoying sometimes, it's not something that unless I look at it really closely, I would really mind for. But overall, like, you get the same expression. We can see her mother's necklace, and it's like the detail in this is like insane. Like, you get all of this from like from the resin that you put in there, and I don't know if it doesn't feel like it's like, it feels like it's etched on there, but it feels like it might be etched onto the middle underneath there, and the resin's put over it, and so it's very nice. I hope we're getting a good shot of this. Yeah. Very, very nice. Okay. And then we'll stop with Aang. Aang will be our last one. I think Aang and Zuko, which is kind of funny that they both have, like, because we have Katara, Sokka, and Toph all having the same expressions on their resin etch side, and then we have Aang and Zuko kind of have different expressions. Now, Aang's, I really enjoy Aang's. We get Aang, and he's in his little book one where he's a little frumpy, you know. I really enjoy it. Like, I feel like if there's anything about Aang is that I love book 1 Aang, like, the most. Like, other book Aangs were great, realization, wonderful. But book 1 Aang is just so fun, and I really like his character in book 1, season 1. I go back and forth, but then we, like, cause he just, look at him. Look how happy he is. We get that nice yellow resin. I feel like, oh my goodness, like, look at the details. I feel like this one is the most detailed out of, like, all 5 of them. But we have Aang, and he's like his little, like, nerdy self. I don't know, he's cute. He's a little pokey. And then we have, like, this big smile on his face, and that's, like, I think the real reason, like, Aang was such a great character, first of all, is when we first meet him in book 1, because he has so many layers to him, but he's still a very fun character to be around. It's very nice. Like, look at that. I hope this is focusing. It's not, but look at that. Overall, I really enjoyed this. So we're gonna push these away a little bit. If we're talking about the 5 in this series, am I upset that Suki was not included? I will always be upset if Suki is not included in a thing that they call the gang. But if I talk about my favorite pin out of this series, out of the transparent series, it has to be Aang. Like, look at him. Look at that expression. He's cute. It's fun. It's lovable. There are some, like I said, there's like, this one has like also a few imperfections, but I feel like it's something that you don't really notice. Like, when you look at it, I have very bad eyesight, so it's not something that I would notice right off the bat. But like, I love his expression. I like how it's fun. I look at this and I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. Something that's really enjoyable to look at. I can't, like, this one I feel like is a lot harder to choose a least favorite. Because they're all really good. Like, I feel like it's very hard for me to choose a least favorite in this one, because they're all very, very good. Like, this series is something that I really want to get, but it was a little bit more, this one's a little bit more expensive than Day of the Black Sun, even though there's one less pen. I think it has to do with, like, the effects of the transparent, like, we have, like, yeah. And the fact that we have, like, this transparent background overall. So, yeah. I think all of them are very much, like, it's very different. Like, I feel like it's different than Day of the Black Sun because they chose very, very interesting expressions and everyone looks really good. And I feel like there was just a lot more that went into this one. Not to say that there wasn't a lot of effort that went into the last one, because I know, like, I've been on the other side of production before, like, the design process work, and, like, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but I feel like this is just this really exemplifies what Zen Monkey Studios is about, like, having these really cool and awesome pins. Also, on another note, when I got my order in, I was very highly surprised, because I did get one last thing that wasn't in, like, I didn't order it, but I got it in the order, and I didn't really question it, other than the fact that I got it. And so, I don't know how to show. Okay, we're gonna move these to the side for a little bit. But one thing that I did get was this lanyard, and it has, like, it's a lanyard. Like, it goes all the way down here, and it's kind of it's a little bit messed up because like, it doesn't lie flat. Like, there's no way for me to make this lie flat. Like, I've tried, I've sat here. It has First Sold After Last Airbender logo, which is very, very nice. Love it. And then it has Avatar Aang on here. Isn't that great? And so I'm really glad that I got this in. I don't know why. It's nicely made. I looked online to see if it was something they were selling. I'm pretty sure it was something that they originally sold. But they don't have it on stock online anymore. So I'm very grateful that I got it through the mail for some reason. I really enjoy it. It's also a really great way, because I know some people, like, either display their pins on lanyards or they display their pins on pin boards, which is what I do. I display them on pin boards. I do have lanyards for my other pins that aren't Avatar themed. But yeah, it's, like, nicely made. The fabric, I feel like it's a nylon. There isn't really, like, a tag here. I don't think there's a tag that tells me, like, what it's made out of. But it's, like, nicely made. I feel like I could wear this. Other than the fact that, it twists on the top. Like, that's the only issue I have with that. Like, I don't like things that don't lie flat on my skin. But it's, like, I still wear it. I still put my pins on there. So, let's recap. So in this haul, like, we've talked about a lot of the pins that we got. We have all of the translucent series. I feel like I didn't put Sokka back on his little cardstock, and I probably will do that or won't do that depending on when I get these pins onto my pin board. And then we have the Day of the Black Sun series, which I think, out of the two series, which one do I like more? I can't tell you. That's like asking to pick a favorite child, and that just is very immoral. I'm not Oza, I'm not gonna pick a favorite child and then, like, have them, regret it and then come back in the Day of Black Sun and tell me that I was an awful parent, because he was. But I am gonna say, I do like the Translucent series a lot. I think they're they're all very much like, ooh, I put this on pinboard, it's gonna look fly, it's gonna look great. But I'm gonna say favorites overall. Aang from the Transparent series. Beautiful. What a cutie. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And then from Day of the Black Sun series has to be Katara. I think I love Katara. I love her expression in this. I like the fact that she's like, she has that warrior cry and she's angry and she's very much like, It's like I love seeing fighter Katara because I feel like that's like kind of who she is. Like she's a fighter and a healer, but you know, in her heart she wants to learn how to fight, and it's such a great journey to see her like excel in that. That's me rambling. Let me know if you like this video. And let me know which ones, these pins were your favorites, or if you actually own any of these, like which one you would like to get. If you want to know more information, you can check out Zen Monkey Studios on the website. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Flamo Hotman.